Hey everybody, and this video brings us out to the American Legion Tri-City Post number 18 here in Wildwood, Florida. I always have to stop myself and say Wildwood, Florida, not Wildwood, New Jersey. As somebody who grew up in the north, I always think when I hear Wildwood, I just immediately go to New Jersey. But no, Wildwood, Florida. It's a thing. Look at the American Eagle here at the American Legion. This is pretty awesome. They actually have a, I should have brought it with me. I have an old American flag. It's a I have two very old did I snort? Two ratty old American flags that have to be disposed of. I should have brought it here to the flag disposal. I should have brought them with me. Actually, one of them is kind of, it's more faded than it is ratty. And I actually have a plan for that flag, possibly, maybe. So before I do put those flags in a flag disposal box, I should actually see if I want to use the other flag for an idea I have. We'll see. Maybe next month we'll take care of that. But the reason why we are out here today is because I want to take a look at something and I want to show something off to you guys. Something that I tried to film earlier this week. You guys might remember, I think it was on Monday, the vlogging day from heck, the day where I tried to film this, and there was a guy screaming on his phone, and then I drove down the street to try to film something else, and there was a car that had broken down and a tow truck trying to move it and whatnot. I couldn't film there, and then I eventually went to the Villages and filmed a pretty awesome train car that was there. But I decided to drive back out here today to finally film this thing, and thankfully there is nobody sitting here on this bench. This might actually be his bag. I don't even know. What do you think is in there? Anyway, so there was a man sitting right here earlier this week screaming on his phone for an hour, probably over an hour, because he was already here when I arrived. And then I literally sat in my van, parked right over there, same place, parked right there. I sat in my van hoping he would eventually leave. He had a bike with him. I figured eventually he's gonna get off his phone. He's gonna bike off that way, or bike off that way, go back home, go wherever he was going, wherever his destination was. Eventually he would go away. An hour passed and he was still here, still screaming on his phone. So I don't know if he was angry at the person on the phone or if he was just angry about something. I have absolutely no idea. But he was a very angry man sitting right here for over an hour. Now, normally I would just kind of film around somebody if it was somebody just sitting here for an hour, whatever. I'd still come over here and film and whatnot, but the guy was screaming profanities. He was very, very angry. He's not here today, thankfully, so we can film what it is I want to film today here at the American Legion. Look at this. Dedicated to the men and women who served in the name of honor, the guardians of freedom. Here's all the different emblems. Here's the Department of the Army, the Navy, the United States Navy there as well, Department of the Air Force. They even have the Space Force here. That's pretty cool. And the Coast Guard. I need to read more about the Space Force. That's something kind of new. I need to read more about that. I always thought the logo, though, looked very, very eerily, I don't know, eerily, but very similar to Star Trek. I always thought when they first did the whole Space Force thing and I saw the emblem for that, I thought, that's kind of interesting. It's very, very Star Trek-y. This is actually just, this isn't even like a real, well, that one isn't. Is this one? Yeah, these are a little bit more legit. They're still plastic, but they're a bit more legit. This one came later. This is just like the stuff you would see like on the side of the road advertising something that corrugated plastic. And it's actually starting to come off a little bit, but pretty awesome nevertheless. Very cool. There's actually flags for all of them as well, POW flag too. But this is not what I want to show you. What I want to show you guys is what's sitting right here. This is something I've driven past a couple of times, and I knew one day I would pull over to check this out. This is awesome. A lot of American Legions and places like this, places for veterans, a lot of them have things like this outside. In fact, in my old hometown back in Pennsylvania, like 2 towns over, one of the, I don't know if it's I can't remember if it's an American Legion. I think I did a video for that, like, gosh, over maybe 2 years ago. I think it's an American Legion or something like that. They actually have one of these sitting outside of their facility as well. It's a different one of them than this one, but it is still one of these. This is really cool. Are you guys ready for this? Are you ready? Take a look at the tank sitting out here. This is an M60A2 Starship tank. Total weight, battle ready, 52 tons. Took 4 crew members. Pretty awesome. Maximum speed is only 30 miles an hour on the road. Pretty crazy. You could get up to 300 miles. That is awesome. Tells you all about the weaponry and whatnot, what kind of gun it had. Very, very cool. 526 tanks built from 1973 to 1975. So this is a 1970s tank. This was acquired in October of 2023. Very cool. Look at this. How awesome is that? An M60A2 Starship tank out here at the American Legion Tri-City Post number 18. That is cool. That is a tank. that is awesome. I always love seeing this kind of stuff just randomly on the side of the road. That is actually really neat. It's really cool that there's a tank out here sitting on this side of the road. Look at the barrel. It's a smaller. I mean, I say smaller. I don't really know anything about all this stuff, but it looks like a smaller kind of barrel. The tank that is by my old house back in Pennsylvania at the American Legion or whatever it is, they have it's a much larger barrel, much longer, I should say, barrel. This is cool though. So you can see, I guess this is like the hatch there. I guess this is where the pilot would actually sit. There's these little windows that they can look out of. I believe that's what that is. And there's a hatch there for them to pop their head out of. You gotta be very careful popping your head out of that hatch so you don't get clunked in the head by the turret here. But this is cool. Got the tank treads down here. Pretty awesome. I guess that's where you get in and out. There's some more windows up there. This is a cool looking tank. Look at all of this. I don't know if that's like an area that they stored stuff or you could like kind of hang out in or whatnot. I wish we could climb up on this. We're not gonna climb up on this. This guy's climbing up on it. I'm not gonna climb up on the tank. We'll leave it for the lizards. The lizards can climb on the tank. I will refrain from climbing up on the tank, even though it's very, very tempting, because I would love to see kind of more like what's up there and stand in those little like crow's nest basket areas. I would love to do that, but I'm not gonna do that. This is still really, really awesome. So leave your comments down below if you maybe ever have driven one of these. Maybe back in the 70s you were in the military and you operated one of these, or maybe possibly a different kind of a tank if you were in the military and you operated a different kind of tank. Leave your comments down below. I want to hear from you guys. I think in the last video I did, again, like 2 or so years ago, I think there were a couple of people who left comments saying that they had driven a tank before, they had been in a tank, they operated a tank. That is really, really cool. I can only imagine how incredibly loud it's got to be in that thing. I think I said this last time I showed a tank off. It's got to be just insanely loud in there. Just the noise from the engine alone, let alone firing the actual cannon off, the gun off, and just like if you're in the middle of a war and you're getting shot at and whatnot. I mean, it's got to be so ridiculously loud. I can't even begin to imagine the sound of just the insanity when you're inside there, but pretty cool nevertheless. I would love to drive a tank someday. There's a place actually, I think it's around here. There's a place somewhere where you can actually drive a tank. I've heard that driving tanks is actually not difficult. Saw the whole documentary on tanks before, and supposedly the Army and the military purposefully designs tanks to be easy to drive, not so people can steal them and drive away or anything like that. They do it so they don't have to like overly train you, and basically if you can drive a car, you can drive a tank. That's what I've heard. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm not 100% sure. I just saw a documentary on it before, like years ago, saying that they design these so that when people join the military, they don't have to go through this rigorous program of like really hardcore learning how to like basically drive all over again, because the tanks are fairly similar to driving a car, and if you can drive a car, you can very quickly learn how to drive a tank. That's what I've been told. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if back in the 70s if that was a thing. Maybe that's just modern day tanks. I don't know. Again, if you've driven a tank, leave your comments down below. One of these days, I want to drive a tank though. Definitely have to drive a tank someday. Maybe we'll do that. I'll find the place where you can go out and you can drive a tank, and we'll do that. What do you guys think used to sit here? There was clearly something here at one point. So if you guys know, if you guys are from the Wildwood area, what used to sit here? I would assume maybe it was like a different piece of of like military equipment or something like that. A lot of places have like those big guns, like those like anti-aircraft guns and whatnot. I don't know. Is that what that was? What was here? What was here at one point on this concrete slab? If you know, leave your comments down below. I have no earthly idea. Not from the area, but this is cool. Wanted to pull over. Wanted to show you guys the tank. Now on a day where we can take a look at the tank because there's no crazy man with his bicycle on his phone screaming and yelling about I don't even know what. He was very, very distraught, very angry. On the vlogging day from heck, he was having a much worse day than I was. I mean, if you're gonna sit here on a bench and scream at somebody for an hour, you gotta be angry about something. I don't know what, but you gotta be angry. You gotta be pretty angry about something to sit there for over an hour just screaming on your phone. But this is awesome. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for today's vlog. Just want to come out here to Wildwood, Florida, not New Jersey, Wildwood, Florida, to the American Legion Tri-City Post 18. Just show you guys the M60A2 Starship tank that sits out here. This is cool. Do you guys have an American Legion or anything like this near you guys that has a tank sitting outside of it? If you do, let me know. This is really, really cool. And if you've driven one of these, definitely leave your comments down below. If you've ever driven a tank just in general, leave your comments down below. And if you want to see me someday drive a tank, leave your comments down below. Maybe I'll try to find that place where you can drive a tank. I think there's one of those around here, or outside Orlando or something like that. I think that's by Disney. I don't know, I swear there's one around here. I swear I saw signs for one around here somewhere. If I can find it, maybe someday I'll drive a tank for you guys. That'd be cool. They'll let me vlog it. I'll do that. That is awesome. What used to sit, what was right here? What used to sit right there? There's so many things. I don't know enough about these. I don't know enough about the tanks. Like what was right there? Looked like you put like a seat on there. Was there a seat at one point right there? If you were driving around and not worried about being under attack, that'd be a pretty cool place for there to be a seat. That'd be awesome. So this is really cool. This is neat. I could just walk around this for the next like 7 hours, just looking at all the different ins and outs and the treads and all the different compartments and the hitch on the back and again the engine compartment here. I like how you can like unbolt it and open it up and get to the actual engine. I'm sure these are designed in a way for partially, somewhat at least. Look at that. That's cool. I'm sure these are designed in some fashion to be maintained somewhat easily out on the battlefield. I mean, you don't want this thing breaking down or something coming loose or a part needing to be replaced and not being able to fix it. So I'm sure somehow in some form, these are probably made to be repaired. This is cool. All right, anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go. This is awesome. So happy we got to actually film this today and take a look at this awesome, incredible piece of military equipment here. The M60A2 Starship tank. That is awesome. All right, anyway guys, with that, I'm gonna let you guys go. So as always, thank you guys so much for checking out this video. Be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, check down below for links to Patreon, check down below for links to Spreadshirt, hit the join button to become a member of this channel to gain early access to all my videos. And if you guys watch this video all the way until the very, very end, hashtag no crazy guy. Hashtag no crazy guy. I think that's his bag. I swear I think he had a bag with him. Hashtag no, I want to check it, but at the same time, I don't want to check to see what's in that bag. Hashtag no crazy guy. If you guys watch this video all the way until the very, very end and leave your comments down below about tank driving-ness. Have you done it? Do you know somebody who's done it? Do you have any stories? I want to hear your tank driving stories, whether they're your stories, whether they're your grandfather's or your father's stories, your uncle's stories. Leave your comments down below about the driving of a tank and the crazy loudness of being inside a tank. Let me know. Leave your comments down below. All right, thanks for watching. Have a good one, guys. One last shot of the tank. Very cool. You know, I mentioned it now. I know you guys are gonna want to see it, right? What's inside the crazy guy's bag? Got a bottle of water, like a full bottle of water, and a breakfast sandwich. Oh, there we go. Full bottle of water and a breakfast sandwich. Untouched bottle of water, untouched breakfast sandwich. That is what is inside the crazy. I'm pretty sure it was a crazy man's bag. He had a bag with him. He left it there. He was so distraught and so upset at whoever he was talking to on the phone. Do you love how we still do this to this day when talking on the phone? He was so angry and so distraught and so upset that he left his brand new unopened bottle of water and breakfast sandwich sitting right there on the bench, uneaten, undrank. It's pretty crazy. Literally. All right, thanks for watching. Again, have a good one, guys. I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching this video all the way to the very end. I love you guys. You're the best. You're amazing. Thanks for coming along with me on these adventures to see cool, interesting... Love bugs. They're flying all around me. These crazy, cool, interesting things on the side of the road and whatnot. All right, that's gonna do it. Now I'm thirsty and hungry, but I'm not gonna eat the crazy guys' food. All right, have a good one. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.